if you're new to the city builder genre, or just Manor Lords generally, can be a little bit overwhelming at first. So, just a couple of the key ones that I found really helpful to help me get into it, even as a fan of the genre. Here's 10 top tips. Here's 10 top tips in 10 minutes. Right, first out of the gate, these backplots are literally critical to the game. Make sure all your buildings have at least one, almost without exception. Following on from that, you definitely want the chicken coop at the start just for easy food variety, but down the road, good small to medium sized veggie patches seem to work this patch to give a good amount of food without too much going to waste. When it comes to your military, it's tempting to call everyone up, but the cost to your economy is just too great. Rely on mercenaries at the start and focus on building out that retinue. They are OP once you get the equipment on them. But send them in too early, cost you a fortune. Farming's very tempting, but it's labor intensive and takes ages. If you are in an area where it's just looking too difficult, focus on importing the key ingredients, going down the trading route, and instead just go for the advanced stuff without having all the whole supply chain built up. It can get you where you need to go without the cost in time and resources. Efficiency is key, and to that, roads are critical. Sometimes some of the buildings don't actually attach. You can check just by clicking here, then clicking advanced if it's connected to a road. Remember, if it's not connected to a road, your villagers may not be able to take 10 goods at a time, forcing them to do trips of one item at a time, which kills your efficiency. Early game money is hard, but generally I've found just to get your ball rolling, berries, especially if you've got a rich berry resource, is the way to go. Just to get some initial money in to get a few extra plots, a few extra animals, and open the door to some of those building upgrades that cost money. Charcoal is so good, especially if you are in an area where you're going to be going for that deep core mining. Something usually like iron makes that worth it. Charcoal is such a good early pickup. It helps you with not just your economy because it sells so well, but it helps you with everything. Everything needs fuel, bigger efficiency there, less waste down the road. Specializing your villages is pretty good, but the way the barter system works is kind of not ideal. Definitely a room for improvement, and unfortunately it makes it very difficult sometimes to get what you need from one village in surplus to your other village where it's in negative. Because of that, sometimes it's better to actually get your villagers to be kind of general with a key specialization instead of having this more broad specialization. Land tax. Wow. If you're starting to find it difficult to get treasury moving, don't stress. I had a bit of a moment with that as well. Without destroying your village, you can set taxes usually to 10 or 20%. 10's usually enough if you've got an okay trading and movement going. Your other option is to target those bandit camps. So let's try that without losing the fucking game. Effective, like. Micromanaging is critical. This isn't one of those city builders where you can sit back, especially if you want to go down the farming route. There are entire seasons where you would have people at waste, or entire seasons where they need to be there to get that maximum efficiency. So cycling in and out is critical for farming. Otherwise, you can set up a lot of efficient systems, but if you really are playing on the harder settings, you might need a min-max. Try to be mindful of different seasons where things just don't work. Like the forester's garden, the berries, setting minimums. Think of your supply chains. The information's there, you just have to go hunting for it. There we go. Then it needs it. Oh my god! If you found these tips helpful so far, we've actually got a full review video right at the end, but let's get to this last tip first. Last but not least, and this is a big one, farming is a little bit quirky at the moment. If you have an ox, which is great, the second it touches a field, no one else will. Because of this, really suggests smaller plots and more of them. It's significantly more efficient in the long run, and even better, if you fail to complete a whole plot, it just disappears. This way, you're gonna get something, instead of having one large plot where you lose it all. Easily, the breakup method, right now anyway, is the way to play. Little bonus one, I know I said 10, but bread is huge. Even if you only get grain and mix it yourself, pick up which way you want to approach, bread does make a massive difference to your food, I found, and it's something that's worth investing in. Hope you found those tips at least helpful for the start of your journey. There's so much more we can unpack. Jump down in the comments if you have your own tips. We'd love to hear them. And as well, if you could drop a like and a subscribe, it really helps the channel. We've actually got a review if you want to see our thoughts on the game as a whole in its current state. Link in the description, and it should probably pop up around here somewhere as well. Somewhere. See you guys.